Okay, in this video I'm going to show you um, how to deal with a common situation that's been popping up more and more. It's not really, when you're importing a dev kit into MayaStar. What's happening more and more is that dev kit providers in their DAE files and FBX files are providing some animations to go with their avatar. And that's really nice for people who don't have MayaStar, because then the avatar will move a little bit and it helps them to rig. It's nice. I don't have the appearance sliders, but at least the avatar can move to different poses or have little animations, which is nice. But those animations will interfere and cause a conflict with the MayaStarizer, because the MayaStarizer itself has its own animations that it's trying to import. And if there's already animations in the scene, it causes an error. There's a conflict. So you need to know what to do, what to look out for, and how to deal with it before you MayaStarize. Okay, so I made a demo DAE. I took a slink body and I added some animations, and so I created my own DAE just as sort of a demo DAE as to what to do. She doesn't have animations in hers as far as I know. But so I made my own. So okay, so you go MayaStar, tear off the dev kit import. Okay, first thing you want to do is import the DAE. I know this is the one that I made. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see it. Okay, so how do I know if this has animations on? There's a couple of ways. You could scrub through the timeline. See it moving down there? And scrubbing means I put my mouse over the timeline, hold down my left mouse button, and I drag it left and right. Now there's nothing way over here, but there's something over here. Okay, so what you have to do, and this is the other way, you can go straight to this if you don't want to do that first way, is you need to find the M pelvis, select it, come over here in an empty area, not on the mesh, not on the skeleton, over here, hold down your right mouse button, and select hierarchy. That will select all the bones in the skeleton. And you may have noticed that we have some vertical red lines here. Those are keyframes. Those are animations. So what I often like to do is like change this to like 600 just to see if there's any other keyframes anywhere else. And yeah, there's nothing. I mean, you can go out to 1,000 if you want. And there's no other animations. So that's great. So I'm going to put this to 6 because I knew there was 5 keyframes. So I did just one extra to show you there's an empty one here. Okay, so we need to delete these keyframes. It's really easy to do. All you do is you put your mouse over one of the frames and you left mouse click to select it. And then you right mouse click on it to get this window to open up, and click delete, and you see that went away. So that got rid of that keyframe. Now you can do it in any order. It doesn't matter. There's frame 5. Select it with the left mouse button. Older versions of Maya, you'll have to hold down your right mouse button for the window to open, and then move the mouse while holding your right mouse button up to delete, and then let go. That's the old school way of doing it. So that's the way I'm used to doing it. Delete, 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 or I could left mouse click and then right mouse click and then left mouse click on delete. Okay, so now that we've got all of the keyframes out of the way, now it's safe to MayaStarize. One thing you might want to try before doing that is to detach the skin from the mesh from the skeleton, because that will tell you what the bind pose has to be for that mesh. Okay, whether it's a T pose or A pose or some sort of combination. So you can go in here to MayaStar, detach skin. And you can see it's the standard T pose. And if we turn on, I just turned on the joint X-ray. And if it was an A pose, you could select the arm or the shoulder and you could see what the rotations are. And then so If it is, make a note of what those rotations are, because you'll have to recreate those rotations. Okay, so now I'm going to Control Z back. Okay, there's another way you can do it, as far as if you really want to fix this. Now the MayaStar, the DevKit Prepper, will fix this automatically. It will fix this automatically. But say you did want to, for some reason, fix this. It's really super easy. You just go MayaStar, Interactive Skin Bind, down to step 4, Detach Skin with History. It's now detached from the skeleton, but it still has its skin cluster, so it still has its information. And so what you'd want to do at that point, now if we reattached the mesh, to reattach a mesh that you've detached with history, to reattach it to the skeleton, it's really easy. Just select any bone in the skeleton, doesn't have to be the M pelvis. Control, select it in the outliner, or Shift select it out here, the mesh, and then go MayaStar, Smooth Bind Skin, Bind Skin. Now, but you see, because it comes back in messed up. So if you really want to fix that, what you do is you go Detach Skin with History. Oh, yeah, up here. Oh, sorry. I have to have the mesh set first. Okay, selected. There we go. Detach with History. Okay, then you want to duplicate the mesh. So you would duplicate the mesh. Now there's 2 in there. And then you would select them M pelvis. Select the hierarchy just like we did before. Control, since there's 2 meshes out here, it's hard to select it because they're identical on top of each other. So I'm going to select in the outline. I'm going to hold down the Control key, not the Shift key, otherwise it will select everything in between. Let me Control Z there. And you see all the bones are still selected. Control, select the duplicate, do a quick Smooth Bind Skin. And now it's bound, but it has the initial weighting. It's horrible weighting. So we're going to copy the weights from this mesh over here. So select the mesh you want to copy it from, which is the original one. So okay that it's not connected to the skin cluster, to the skeleton, it still has the skin cluster. It still has all the information. And Control, select the mesh you want to copy it to, but it has to be rigged. The duplicate has to be rigged first. It can't be unrigged. It has to be rigged. And then MayaStar, Skin Weight Tools, copy skin weights. These are the settings I use. Copy. Okay, now you can delete the original if you really want to. Okay, now we didn't really need to do that to finish up. We could have, it was just fine with the mesh all messed up. That was just fine. It wasn't going to hurt anything. You still got to do DevKit Prepper. Look, and see? That wasn't just fine. So you don't want to fix it beforehand. I'm just Control Z, getting it back. So, but that's how you do if you need to, if you wanted to keep it large like that, you could. So anyway, that's how you fix that particular thing. But with the DevKit Prepper, it doesn't work. So we're going to delete that. And there's that. Okay, so I'm going to select one bone. Control, select the mesh. Smooth Bind Skin. Smooth Bind Skin. It gets all messed up, which is fine. We're going to do DevKit Prep. And see, it fixes it automatically. Okay, now if you had, now DevKit Prepper puts it in the T-pose. So if it was in a different pose than the T-pose, this is when you'd want to rotate the bones to the position that they're supposed to be in. Create a custom bind pose. See, I wonder if that will work. So let's say this is at 45. Say this is a custom. Say it was in the A pose. Oops, no, 5 and -5. And then you would go tools, create my pose. Okay, now you can run MayaStar, and I think it will hold on to it didn't hold on to the we go to bind pose. There it goes. Okay, so now it went back to the bind pose. Or we could have turned we could have done this after doing the MayaStar. Doesn't really matter. You can create the bind pose either before or after. It doesn't really matter. And so now this avatar is all ready. You know, all ready for the appearance slider. This resets the scales. This resets the skeleton to the default bone positions and rotations, and then go to bind pose would put it back to that. Now this is only if, like I said, if when you detached the mesh when it was big, that you saw that when it was detached it was in the A pose position, and you would measure the and write down or remember the rotations of the arms and of the legs. So awesome. So that's how you deal with if you have a DAE that has animations on it. Because if it has animations on it, it won't, when you go to MayaStar it will not, you'll get errors, it will not connect to the skeleton, you get all sorts of bad things that happen. So awesome. So that's it for this video. I hope this helps people out there when they're bringing in their different dev kits into Maya and MayaStar. And I hope you find it useful. Awesome. Well, have a great day. Thanks. See you in the next video.